Thank you for being here. Yeah, and thank you for being people I don't know. Oh, strangers. Finally. Oh, it's so good to see strangers. They've always given me hope, you know? As a kid, they're very scary, because you're just like, oh no, maybe someone will take me away from like everything I know and love. But as an adult, you're just like, oh, can you? I didn't know that was an option. It's so nice to have people to look at, because then you don't look at your phone. Isn't that nice? They make us sad, huh? I think our phones make us sad because they give us like too much information to process at once. Like you'll go to check the time, and your phone will be like, we've been expecting you. Yeah, we got 2 texts from your crush, okay. We got an Instagram comment from your ex. You're gonna need a sign for that. And we got a low balance alert in your checking. Nope. Savings. Nope. Both. Oh, and the planet is burning. No. Drowning. No. Both. Oh, and as for the time, you have less. And that's just the lock screen. There hasn't been a lot to do aside from look at your phone for the last 18 months. At the beginning of the pandemic, I tried board games. I tried playing Clue. Don't play that. Don't play that in the pandemic. Yeah, it's not very fun to play a game where you just guess how people die. Like, I think it was Miss Scarlet with the rope. It's like, it was Professor Plum, and he was asymptomatic. That's the game, baby. I've been pretty good at the pandemic, actually. Yeah, thank you. No, thank you so much. I've been very good at it because I'm a rule follower, and so, I mean, it has been our season. Step aside, bad boys. It's the golden age of the goody two-shoes. A renaissance for the tattletale now. Get in line, there's no cutting. It was incredible. I mean, at some point, we were just putting rules on other rules. Right? They said, you gotta wear a mask. I was like, no problem. They were like, actually 2. I was like, ooh, you're bad. I feel like I was raised to be good in lockdown because growing up, I wasn't allowed to do anything ever at all. Like, I would say I was sheltered, but that's an understatement. Like, I was bunkered. like, this is my first boy-girl party. We really weren't allowed to do anything at all. Like, my sister and I weren't allowed to participate in petting zoos. So we just watched. Do you know how sad that is? There's like a 4-year-old boy and his 7-year-old sister just like, sister, what do you think fur feels like? We had those accents because in the bunker we were taught the Queen's English. We weren't allowed to do anything because my mom was a worrier, you know, but never in like a helpful way. Right? She was never like, whoa, don't forget your lunch. She was like, whoa, don't forget, 30% of accidents happen within a mile of the home. Yeah. Her fears manifested as like math class word problems. She'd be like, if you leave the house at 7 a.m. and a train leaves DC at 8 a.m., at what time will I be convinced you'll be hit by it? My mom was a worrier, my dad was a preparer. That was like their balance. And I think he overdid it a few years ago because he bought grave plots for me, my sister, my mom, and my dad. What a relief. Right? To know that in the end I'll move back in. I like that story because it also shows how thorough my dad is. Right? Like, a lot of parents threaten their kids. Like, I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. And my dad is like, and when I do, it'll be to plot B-17. Under the maple. Not in the shade, though. Your sister gets the shade. Parents are very tricky. You know, they're very picky, too. Because growing up, they're like, you can become anything. And then you become an atheist. And they're like, wait, no. oui. No fair. No. We meant like a lawyer. Like a lawyer who loves God. I'd say the trickiest parents, that would be fathers, I would say. They're tricky, you know? Because it's like, we gotta save the environment, but if we get rid of cars, where will we talk to our dads? The phone? Okay, dreamers. The dinner table? They're not even allowed there. They're so withholding. My dad's so withholding at this point, I'm like, okay, you signed a non-disclosure agreement for everything you've ever felt. Nobody else had a boomer dad? No? I feel like they all signed these emotional NDAs. Like kids are being born, then a lawyer will whisk a dad into a side room and be like, how do you feel? And the dad would be like, joy I could never express. And the lawyer's like, good, because you won't. I mean, obviously, I am not my dad's favorite. Right? Yeah. And I have proof. Because my dad named a boat after my sister, and he named no boats after me. And he has 2 boats. One's named the Rosie-O, and the other is not named. Which is why it leaves me with no choice but to be like, I think we also should defund dads. Reform isn't enough, you know, we gotta reimagine fatherhood. Life is good, you know? Life is good for me. I live in New York, I like that. My apartment is in a predominantly black neighborhood, so I am popular. Oh, some skeptics? Is that because of the past? No, I know I'm popular. I've made a good impression. And I know that because there's a little restaurant around the corner from my apartment, and they keep the windows open all the time. And one day I was walking by, and there were 2 black women and a black guy, and I walked past, and the black guy was like, there's one of them. Now, is there a chance they weren't talking about my race? No. So what I have to assume happened is before I walked past, the first woman was like, a lot of white people moving in. But then the second woman was like, but I've heard some of them are good. And then I walked by and the guy was like, and there's one of them. As I walked past in Birkenstocks and a Life is Good hat. Because for me it is.